It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
Sad news from the world of comedy. And friend of the show, Gilbert Gottfried, has died. And apparently a very rare...
He had a rare genetic muscle disease that can trigger a dangerously low, abnormal heartbeat. So, yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys remember this, but two stories from me. I was in New York City in the late 70s, and I went to a late show at the Improv. And it was before the comedy boom, before there were improvs everywhere. And it was one of those things where a handful of comics got up there, and there might have been 20 people in the audience. And a bunch of guys nobody had ever heard of got up on stage. One of them was a young Jerry Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. This might have been his, first or second year in comedy. And the other was Gilbert Gottfried. And I remembered Gilbert. He had such an unusual voice. But I didn't,
right.
Their names didn't mean anything to me at the time. And then I want to say it was probably 1980 when Saturday Night Live lost their original cast, and they had that brand new cast that it was kind of a no-win. And I remember, I think it was Denny Dillon, and I think that was the year that Gilbert Gottfried was on SNL for one season.
Very short run, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember Charles Rocket, and I'm forgetting.
I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in that cast too. I
don't remember that, but
she was a little later with
but Gilbert was on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, I thought, that was the guy from the Improv. And then years later, in '83, I went to a comedy club, and Jerry Seinfeld, that was the guy that I saw at the Improv. And I remember when I saw him thinking, God, this guy has got such great stage presence. Mm-hmm. And obviously, he's become the great Jerry Seinfeld. But we talked with Gilbert many, many times, and he was in our studio several times. Here's just a little touch of audio from Gilbert Gottfried on this show. I think this is on the phone. Hey, Gilbert, can you swim?
No. There's a million things I can't do.
Yeah. I went to college in New York City with a lot of guys that couldn't drive or swim, and whenever I ask someone that, they act like I'm some kind of prick. But yeah, if you grow up in the city, there aren't a lot of pools.
Yeah, just for the record, I think you're a prick.
So you've been listening to the show. Hey, Gilbert.
Why bring up trivial matters?
I feel so honored. Thank you, Gilbert. Oh, God, that guy was so brilliant and so funny.
Yeah, wonderfully funny.
And then remember, I forget the context. Was it in the wake of the Pee Wee Herman thing that he said the thing about, we had him on the air, and he said, if masturbation is a crime, I'd be on death row.
Yeah.
Then, what else did he get? Remember he got dropped from Affleck? Was that
the tsunami or something?
Yeah, it was absolutely a tsunami
He said
joke.
something upsetting.
But that was always his thing, was to joke about the unjokeable, as what people considered to be totally off limits.
And he was doing stand-up when he was 15.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, they called him a comedian's comedian, because all the comics wanted to see what he would do.
I watched him live in Milwaukee one time. It was at the Milwaukee State Fair, and it was a full tent, hundreds of people. And he went, and slowly but surely, people started to leave because he became more and more obscure. And he said into the microphone, "I'm not getting off stage until everyone leaves." and my buddies and I sat there and we watched him do close to 2 hours.
Wasn't there a sweet documentary called Gilbert a few years ago?
Yeah, that's out there.
And when he was here last time, he was talking about that. One of the oddities. Remember what he collected?
Yes, I do. He collects miniature soaps and miniature shampoo bottles from all the hotels he's been in.
And it was so funny because I was thinking about him.
Has thousands of them.
The other night, staying in the hotel in Cincinnati. Beautiful hotel, by the way. Just beautiful. And I was thinking about that as I packed my stuff up and thought, well, there's a nice little box of soap. Should I take that home? And I was thinking, should I take it home in honor of Gilbert Gottfried?
I shed a tear for him yesterday because he was one of my dad's favorites.
Yeah,
and his special dirty jokes is one of my all-time
sweet
favorites.
Man.
Bobcat put up a really nice picture of him and Gilbert, and he also this was his eulogy, if you will. Bobcat said, when most people say shocking things, they're fueled from a place of anger. When Gilbert said shocking things, it came from a place of joy.
Yeah.
Defiant joy that comes from shocking the status quo, and was giving the middle finger to the tragedies and horrors of everyday life. And then Bobcat goes, either that or he was an a-hole. And I can tell you he wasn't. He was a very sweet man, and he will be missed.
Yes.
And he has a beautiful wife and 2 kids.
Fairly young kids.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Like, what, 12 and 10?
Yeah, all our best to them.
All right.
Yeah.
And,
A legend.
And most famous probably still for being the voice, well, 2 things, the voice of the Affleck duck and, remember the other bird that he...
Yeah, the parrot in Aladdin.
Yeah.
Iago?
Yep, Iago.
That was a long time ago, but that's, of course, going to live forever.
Yeah.
Once again, sad news, the death of Gilbert Gottfried, and we'll dig up some more audio from some of his visits a little bit later this week.
We are blessed that we got to spend some time with him.
We are.
Yeah, very tiny guy, by the way.
Yes.
You can never tell
My
on
size.
TV how big people are. He was really little. But I guess under his bed he had 1,000 bars of soap.
Yeah, he kept him
Yeah.
kept him in a suitcase, 2 or
right.
3 suitcases. Yeah.
Yep.
Which, this is totally off topic, but has anyone ever told you that you're supposed to put a bar of ivory soap at the bottom of your bed and it prevents cramping?
I have heard that.
What?
Cramping? You mean like
Leg cramps?
female cramping?
No,
or just
No.
cramping
leg
in general?
cramps.
Leg cramps.
I've heard this.
yeah.
I don't know if there's any scientific
It
basis.
doesn't make
for
any
this.
sense to me at all.
Well, not much about life.
Well, you
makes
know, of
sense to
course,
me, so
Tom Ivory's 99 and 100% pure. I don't know if you know that.
you know that I only use ivory.
I know you
know.
only use
I'm an exclusive ivory soap guy. I'm
yeah.
a big fan.
Huh.
All other soap causes serious problems. Well, normally,
Yeah.
in normal circumstances, sitting
What's
to my
normal?
left would be my handsome young son, Willie. Willie is still in Cincinnati celebrating some baseball, working on some video projects, or probably sleeping in after tying one on. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. And ordinarily, Mr. Godwin would be in the performance room next door. But he's a little under the weather after hitting it out of the park yesterday on the show. But joining us now is financial writer Joe Saul-Sehy. Did I get it right?
Hey, yes.
Sehy?
Absolutely.
Joe, good to see
Look
you.
up. Good to see you guys. Hey, so what's the deal? You go to Cincinnati. I thought the Bob and Tom show is like the good luck charm, and they got their butt kicked yesterday. I feel
Well.
is this my career-ending appearance? Is this it? Show up on Bob and Tom and
Wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah.
You're a financial guy. You've got a famous podcast out there called
Stacking Benjamins, the greatest money show on earth. It's a real circus, kind of like taken after the Bob and Tom show.
Oh.
So humorous ways to lose your money.
I have one. Playing craps. No, go ahead.
There's some good financial advice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yesterday we were at the casino, had some fun. Christy,
Yeah, I dropped a quick
as I
Benjamin.
left, you were at the craps table.
Yeah.
More than one Benjamin. Goodbye.
No, just one.
Okay. So-
I limited myself.
Okay, I know that Mr.
Hastings
was
may
up.
have lost.
He was up 2K.
You know what? You keep saying that, and I don't think that ever happened.
He may have lost a little bit.
Well, he told me he
But
was up
did-
$2,000.
Well, I don't. Yeah, that's what I tell you. If you ask me how I did in the casino, I can tell you that.
Well, I can tell you didn't by your bad attitude.
No, that's not why I have a bad attitude. It's because I've been in here with you for decades. That's why I have.
Remember during one of the stimulus programs, President Obama goes, "All right, now don't take these checks to Vegas."
That's not what he said.
And Las Vegas went, "Hey, what the hell?"
It was like when the elder George Bush said, "I don't like broccoli."
Right.
Remember that?
Yes,
The broccoli farmers got all.
Yeah, come on.
And by the way, just for any broccoli farmers listening, I love broccoli.
I'm
Who
with you.
doesn't love broccoli?
I also love
you load it up with cheese, you can eat it.
and by the way, I love cheese and I love my American dairy
Here
farmers.
we go.
And my Canadian dairy farmers. For some reason, they're
Okay.
sending us mail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Joe, as you can see, the show has a theme.
Yes.
we don't.
Gambling.
No, ADD.
Well, no. Our main theme is blatant hostility with each and every
Right.
with each other. That's our, and it seems to work. So
Not even passive aggressive, just
no,
aggressive.
just
That's exactly
right
right.
out.
Right for
Like
aggressive.
Dummy
Question
said.
for Joe.
Hey, Scott?
So you
Oh
had kids?
God, no!
Yes. Come
So you
on.
had kids.
Yes.
What are we talking allowance-wise?
Oh, you know what? Let your kids have, and this runs counterintuitive. Your kids should have a little bit larger allowance than you think they should have. And here's the reason why. while you don't want your kids to make money mistakes, it's better to make a $10 mistake than what I did. I was never trusted with money until I got to college. My parents, whenever we had a money discussion, like a lot of families, the kids left the room. You did not enter the room when mom and dad were talking money. And so I got to college, and immediately I saw this line at Mark Clark Hall. I was at a school called the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I line up, I get in this line. I'm like, what are we in line for? And somebody said, I'm in line to get debt. They didn't really say that, but we were in line for an American Express card.
Oh, man.
Yes. And that was going to be awesome. And I don't remember, Ace, if I was getting a T-shirt or what I was
towel,
getting.
maybe, yeah.
Yes. And I very, very honestly said, I have no income. I'm in a military college. I can't have a job. And guess what came a month later? I got a credit card.
They loved, oh boy, those should be illegal.
Now, I should point out to Joe that Ace is a frugal man. And Ace is a very smart shopper, and he is a coupon guy, and he is our coupon expert, as a matter of fact.
Does Ace sit next to Chick then on purpose? Because he's been buying stuff on Amazon like nonstop since I got in, I think.
I'm sorry, what? There's a sale right now.
Ace, did you have an allowance growing up?
I think the highest I ever got was $5 a week.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
See,
Really?
I mean, we didn't have one.
When you grew up, back in the 30s, when you grew up, yeah, that was $5. Was
my sister-in-law had an allowance for my nieces and nephews, and what she would do is there were 3 envelopes, and when you got your allowance, you put 25% of it into a savings, and then 25% to charity, and then 50% into whatever you want.
That's great.
God, I wish I would have done that when I was growing my kids.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I had a client, I haven't been a financial planner in a long time, but when I was a financial planner, one of my clients would give the kids the allowance, and then he would take back taxes to show them how much you need to hate the tax man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
love that.
This is not the week for that, Joe. Thanks for stopping by.
Real funny.
Okay, do you happen to know, and I just looked this up because I don't know, my 6-year-old is currently in that phase where teeth seem to be falling out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you've got the tooth fairy. What do you think is a good rate in our current culture for the tooth fairy? Do you have
Oh, I wish I remembered. We did a story last year on Stacking Benjamins about Delta Dental, I think, does a study every year about what the average person's giving for the tooth fairy.
I've got it right here. What do you think it is?
It's gonna.
I bet it's $5.
I was going to say
I'll go
$5.
higher. I'll go $10.
$4.70.
Okay.
Well, that's odd.
Nobody gives $4.70.
No, that's the.
That's the average.
Don't look at me. She beats me early. Don't do this.
Shut it up.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
the average.
I don't think I ever got paper money.
I didn't
It was
either.
I think it
Always.
was a quarter.
Yeah.
It was always an IOU
Quarter.
under Josh's bed.
With inflation these days, at what is it, 8% this month? Here's what I think we should do: the tooth fairy should be gauged in sync with gas prices.
Oh.
And
So the gas goes up, the
Yeah.
tooth fairy goes
I
down?
paid
Is that what you're
$4.90 a
saying?
gallon yesterday.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. I thought you meant there'd be like tooth fairy speculators out there. Who would,
Right.
Well, an incisor worth $90 these days.
People placing options on tooth fairy prices.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the news desk briefly. With
Okay, let's see what we have here. A new Colorado law will allow children to play outside by themselves.
This is just weird. Where the kids
By
getting
themselves.
they're getting eaten by mountain
This
lions.
makes me so mad. According to the Denver Post, under House Bill 1090, titled Reasonable Independence for Children, it will no longer be considered neglect if a reasonable and prudent parent or guardian finds their child mature enough to travel to school, nearby stores, or recreation centers, play outside, or stay at home by themselves. After unanimously winning approval in the House and Senate, Governor Jared Polis signed the bill into law last week, and it goes into effect just in time for summer break.
There must be something weird about this.
Remember the big story about the woman in New York City that would put her kid on the subway?
Sure.
Yeah,
That's
and
where all those
people
kids grow up.
Yeah, and people went nuts calling her a neglected parent.
Well, first
I'm
of
like,
all,
what?
they're missing the larger point. Kids don't want to go outside.
Well, there's that.
Unless the Wi-Fi goes down.
Yeah,
So it's now legal for children in Colorado to play outside by themselves.
apparently. Well, not yet.
Colorado pedophiles everywhere announced, "Yay!"
Josh,
Josh, please.
Do you? I know Don't get me wrong. I see your joy.
Do you see how much Joe wants to leave the room?
Wow.
Do you see how much he wants to get out of here?
I'd expect that from him, not you.
Joe, when you would have your financial discussions with your wife, were the kids ever allowed to listen?
They were, yes, absolutely. You don't want to scare your kids, but you want them to know that money's a real thing. And I'll tell you, I used to do the dad thing. I'd pull in the driveway, and every single light in my house is on, like it's Disney World. We have 2 TVs; they're both on. Nobody's watching them. Kids are in the backyard playing by themselves, apparently illegally. Right? And so I would come in and I'd do the dad thing. I'd complain. I'd be furious. But instead, we turned it into a game. So I took out some graph paper, and whenever we get the bill every month, we do the how low can we make the utility bill? And my kids went from reluctant and not wanting to do any of this stuff to let's make this fun. And I remember I think I was watching the Final Four.
Oh, so you had power to watch the TV.
I did. That's
now,
right.
is that because your kids were on a little bike? I'm so sorry.
Actually, we do have an email here, Tom. Somebody asking if you do a particular thing, Joe, to save money. Courtney would like to know if you fill ketchup bottles with stolen packets from fast food.
Well, now
I
you don't
think
need to
so.
read. Now you don't need to read the book. There it is. Whenever I go to a McDonald's or a Wendy's, I just ask for extra ketchup.
Yes.
And I'm a multimillionaire using that. So thank you.
Joe, hey, it's been great having you stop by.
Yes.
Thank you.
And in the interests of preserving your personal life, we're not going to ask you to sit in on our next segment, which is known as Sexy Time, in which we help people with their love lives. Although in many cases, I would suppose that finance and one's love life are connected.
It is strange how much better the sex is when you don't argue.
I bet, yeah.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say when you pay for it.
Tom, we have a go ahead. No one introduces this segment like you.
Oh,
do.
sorry. Let me get ready. Got to get poised. Get my lips all moist. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Turn that down.
back.
Dummy.
That helps.
Hey.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Wait a minute. You're a genius. Hang on.
Yes.
It's Sexy Time with Alli Breen.
Allie, he said that in front of a live audience yesterday, and you could have seen people physically recoiled.
Yes.
Oh, that's because you set me up to die. The way
I didn't.
No, we didn't.
Did they boo?
The way the survey was done, it was you agree with me.
No, this is how it
all I
went.
said was, go ahead.
You say it,
I said, does anyone ever hear Tom say "sexy time" again?
and the crowd went,
Like this.
And this clamoring for the Sexy Time T-shirts, which we got to get going.
no, there isn't.
That'll never happen.
No.
Just keep.
Oh, don't worry about it. There's not.
Do you want me to have PJ send you the
love it.
mock-ups?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll approve one in 20 seconds.
Yeah. And they'll be printed by this afternoon.
No, these things take time. It's like the
No,
puppets.
you secretly hate money.
I did the puppets, and
Leaving money on the table.
Allie, now people present you with letters about their love lives, and
They do.
we try to help. What have you got today?
Dear Allie, I have been living with my boyfriend for 3 years, and the longer we're together, the less he listens.
Huh?
When he's watching TV, which is pretty much all the time, I have to say something like 4 times before he even hears anything.
Well, don't talk
And he
while
wants
the
to watch
TV's on.
TV even through dinner. Is it crazy to ask him to get more attention?
No, you can ask him.
For tips on that, I've got a number for you.
I find raising my voice into a higher pitch usually works. Get a little bit naggier.
Works in what? Sending him out the door?
Oh, no. I'll make him listen. I will be acknowledged.
Maybe
Yeah.
get
In a nice way.
I have a question.
I was about ready to leave, and I didn't know.
It's more of a statement. Maybe get more interesting.
Yeah.
Why
maybe
is it her fault?
Oh, I'm just.
I know.
it's not.
Guys and TV is really do you guys watch TV through dinner? Does anyone
No.
do that, or is that the
No.
time to
No.
talk? Exactly.
No.
Sometimes and sometimes no. I think it's best not to. That's the time to
You
talk.
have a TV in your kitchen?
Well, I have an open concept first floor there, and so I
Okay.
can see a TV from my kitchen.
Yeah, no TVs
Very
in
nice
the
house.
kitchen, no TVs in the bedroom. Yeah, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
I would also defend this guy in one sense. I think everybody right now, everybody in this sort of almost over COVID era is really nuts. And sometimes we all, whatever it is, that maybe this guy just needs the TV to get back on Earth. It's so hard right now being alive and dealing with all this. Obviously, much harder for a lot of people.
Yes, but this guy's also being kind of a jerk. You need to listen to your girlfriend every now and again.
Or maybe he's totally just
checked out?
Yeah.
Maybe he's checked out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
I doubt it. Isn't this ever? Don't you hear this story all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to repeat yourself, or it's like, I already told you this, so you weren't listening. One of those things. So
This is getting close to home.
See? Yeah, I mean.
Sorry.
Well, you've been around me for a long time, Christy.
You don't remember anything.
Of course. I'm too busy over here thinking about the next thing we're going to do. Who's on the phone? Oh, it's Allie.
Ask him. Just be honey, I really would like to talk with you. Can we turn the TV off for a couple minutes?
At least during dinner.
Yeah, you have
Maybe
every
start
right.
Small.
Every right to do that.
Now, Allie, do you watch TV with your boyfriend?
Oh, yeah, of course. All the shows together. And that's one of those things I think couples get mad at each other if they watch without them for the most part.
Yeah, if you're watching a
if you've
serialized
been to
show and
series
they
together.
cheat and watch it. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah, exactly.
Your boyfriend is an excellent actor, and he's in a number of shows.
Yes.
Do you watch his shows with him?
No, he won't watch himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he does not like that.
He won't watch
occasionally-
himself in the shows.
But he'll watch himself in the mirror next to the bed? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, it's above the bed, you
The
idiot.
ceiling and wall of mirrors. Is that what you?
Yeah. As he flexes his muscles like Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Okay. Very handsome man. Okay.
Dear Allie, I have been dating a born-again Christian who I really love. I've never asked her about the past, and she hasn't volunteered much about it. I was at her house the other night, and she actually invited me to spend the night. No sex or anything, but just to sleep next to each other. It was my first time in her bedroom, and she had a stripper pole in there. Is it time to start asking questions about her past?
Wait a minute. So far, I love everything about this letter.
I think you can absolutely go. Tell me about the poll and just see what she says.
you do exercise. For the
I was just
pole.
going to say there really are exercise programs based around a stripper pole.
However,
But yeah, you don't know.
it's in the bedroom.
You can ask.
Well, where
Well,
you work
people
out
have
in the middle
treadmills
of
in
your
their bedroom.
living
Yeah.
room.
Oh, hey, my dad had something like a Haitian love swing. It was a Hoyer lift to get him in the toilet because he was disabled. But
Maybe the former roommate had it in there, and she
Yeah.
took the bigger room, and they moved
Who's
out.
to say?
See?
You can ask.
Yeah, you got to ask it with questions here. This is This is
Once you
Everybody
combine
has
that
questions.
with born again Christian, I feel like there's a story.
You can
Because
be a
usually
good
people,
Christian and
it's-
also be a stripper.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Usually people have gone so crazy to become a born again Christian. It's like they had,
right.
This
so
is
many
this could be a
sexual
big
experiences
story.
that
You're a
they're like,
stripper?
"Ooh, I got to clean the slate."
Do you have a pole at home if you're a stripper? Do you bring your work home to like practice, or?
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like she brought you over so you could see the pole and ask her about it. Maybe. Like, how do you not
Yeah,
go
it
into
could
someone's
be.
house and say,
No.
"Hey, you have a fire pole in your bedroom"?
Yeah, but you can ask her.
Why wouldn't you take it down?
Or dress
who
it up
knows
like
what she's
something
doing?
else.
Because maybe her paying clients like a little show before they.
That's right.
Oh boy. I'd say just ask her.
Maybe he could just do that. How about that? Just suggest a show. That would not go over well, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't.
Fully clothed is
know.
okay. Show me your acrobatic skills.
This may pay off in the end.
Yeah.
Easter's just around the corner.
Oh, come on. It's Holy Week. Don't. Please.
Oh, I love having sex on Easter, Christy. It's the greatest.
Holy week, Batman.
Wait, have you been abstaining for 40 days and 40 nights? Is that why?
I just like to show her my res erection. Is that lightning I just
I
saw?
am
Yes,
so
yes,
going
yeah.
to hell.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't touch anything electronic for a while, Josh.
Dear Allie, this is hard to even write about. But I farted when my boyfriend was,
Oh, God, yeah, we get it.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, he jumped back and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then we kind of laughed about it, but I'm horrified and I think it changed everything. Do you guys think he'll ever look at me the same?
Well, we would have to know how he's acting now. You didn't give us enough evidence that it's changed everything. It could all be in your head. If he's totally fine,
Yeah.
you guys both laughed about it. What are you going to do? Is he still with you? You didn't give us enough info. Next.
Josh, if a girl did it, would you be repulsed? Would you be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. That's so disrespectful"?
I'd
to
be like, oh my
face."
God. I think, and then laughing would ensue.
I don't think you
I
have
think we-
control over that
You
sometimes.
really can't. Even yoga, you're like,
Yeah.
"Oops."
Yeah.
And this was an AF, not a CF.
I would have gone PF.
A CF
I would have gone PF.
is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
I used to have those shoes, the PF flyers. The PF flyers. When you'd run, they'd make a funny noise. Allie, let's try one more quick one.
Dear Allie, I've been with my girlfriend for over a year now, and she's quickly becoming my longest relationship. I would love to spend my life with her, but there's problems. I can't stand her family.
Yeah.
They need professional help and medication and just fight and spread drama. She has 3 kids. I like 2, but honestly despise the oldest. He makes the whole house miserable and unbearable. I try to get along, but he's impossible. Can I ask her to go send him to live with his dad? Or is military school still a thing? What do I do?
No.
I can't answer anything.
I can answer part. Yes, military school still is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah. Populated primarily by the sons of rich foreign people, but
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
No, I know. I agree with you.
But yeah,
I don't know what that means, but
yeah, a lot of.
I don't think you can ask someone to send their kid away, though. That's
I'm only answering the military school part.
going to be an issue.
He's protective of his mama. That's what it sounds like if it's the oldest. So he's just going to be difficult to deal with. But at least you like 2 out of 3, so those are pretty good odds. So just deal with it.
You're not going to be able to fix this.
It's a lot of problems.
You're pretty far down the road in the negatives.
Yeah.
oh man,
Well,
Make
the
a
kid
list.
will go to college eventually. Yeah, I don't know how old he is now, but eventually he'll get out of the house.
Maybe try talking to him. But if he's watching TV, only talk to him during the commercials, and then you may be able to get through. Alli Breen is the
Boy, we solved nothing this
woman behind. Yeah, this was
I
not
know.
the most helpful.
This was a rough one.
We were talking about how we loved Gilbert Gottfried. Did you ever work with Gilbert?
A lot. I worked with Gilbert a bunch. I was supposed to be in Baltimore with him 2 weeks ago, and he canceled at the last minute. They said he had COVID, and now this is what happened.
man. Yeah.
I know, it was really.
Very
I
sad.
had no idea how sick he was.
Wasn't he a sweet man?
He was so sweet. He was so quiet.
And you're probably the only. No, I bet. Did he weigh less than you? You are extraordinarily
he's
slender. And
tiny.
he was tiny.
Tiny, yeah, and kind of, very frail. Like when he had to take a big step up to get on stage, he needed help. He was and then he got on stage, he was like a ball of energy.
Yeah.
But he was such a sweet guy. We worked in Long Island together, and I drove him to Long Island to and from, and he doesn't talk a lot. It was it was one of those rides where we'd have conversation for 5 minutes and then drive.
Did he?
5 minutes?
Did
then
he?
drive.
Was he able to drive? Do you know if he ever learned how?
I don't know. He lives in New York. He might not have ever.
I guess there's a chance he never needed
I'd asked
to.
him about could he swim, and he said no. And then we, a lot of guys that I knew from New York didn't know how to drive. So anyway, Allie, it's always a great pleasure. You look great.
Yeah, great pleasure.
Great
Thanks,
weekend.
guys.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker. If you just like that video, then do your part. Like and subscribe. You have to. It's state law.